Los pronombres personales. Hola amigos, ¿cómo estáis? En este vídeo vais a aprender cuáles son los pronombres personales y qué función tienen. Hi everyone, how are you? In this video you're going to learn what are subject pronouns and what functions do they have. ¿Vale? Ya lo sabemos que en una oración sencilla hay como tres partes. We already know that a simple sentence can be divided into three parts, right? El sujeto, quien es el protagonista de la acción, okay? The subject or the doer of the action. El verbo, que es la acción, the verb or the action that's being done. Y el objeto, the object on which the action falls. ¿Vale? Now, vamos a cortar esta frase entre estas tres partes. ¿Vale? So now we're going to cut this simple sentence. We're going to divide it into these three parts. Paulo bebe leche. Paulo drinks milk. Si quiero añadir una frase más cuyo sujeto también es Paulo. If I want to add one more sentence whose subject also is Paulo. Paulo come manzanas. Paulo eats apples. Para que no se repita el sustantivo, lo reemplazamos por el pronombre. Now, in order to omit repetition of the noun, we use pronouns. And why it's called a subject pronoun is because it replaces the noun that is the subject of a sentence. Alright? So here Paulo is a boy. It's not me, it's not you, it's the third person I'm talking about. So it always depends on the person who's speaking his point of view. My point of view is that he is the third person, Paulo. If I had to say you drink, then that is the second person. Now, it only involves one person, so that's in the singular form. Now it's very important to remember that in Spanish, not only living things but also non-living nouns have a gender. So whenever you want to study adjectives, pronouns, etc., it's very, very important to know what the gender and number is of the noun. Alright, let's take the first person singular. I. Alright, yo. Yo. Yo me llamo Michelle. My name is Michelle. Or literally, I call myself Michelle. Now we go to the second person singular. That is you. Tu. Tu is written with an accent called a tilde. It emphasizes pronunciation of a vowel. Tu. If you do not write it with the accent, it will resemble a possessive adjective, tu, which means your. Okay, like tu mama, your mother, your mama. Like for example, tú eres muy guapa. You are very beautiful. It's very important to know now that tú is an informal way of addressing a person. You get informal with people you are very well acquainted with. Your friends, your family, even though in an Indian culture we understand that we address people with aap, even if it is our parents. But in Spain, you can very well address your parents, your grandparents, teachers, and even your boss with tú if you share a friendly relationship with them. Now, if you want to get formal with someone, say you do not know the person very well, or it is an elderly person you are addressing and you want to show some respect, instead of saying tú, you can use usted. Usted is the other form of saying you. However, many people get very confused because when you're conjugating verbs, when you're using verbs, it's always the third person conjugation of the verb that goes along with usted. But never get confused that usted is not referring to a third person. It is only to say you, except for that it is the formal way of saying it. Another tip, in Latin America, instead of tú, you will find many people saying vos or usted. It is very common, it's just their way of speaking Spanish. Alright? Now coming to the third person singular, we have él. Take note of the accent, that's a tilde on E. without which it resembles the definite article el or the for masculine singular nouns. Ella. El and ella both signify he and she. However, like I told you, we also have non-living things that have genders in Spanish. Similarly, el and ella can not only be used for living things but also for non-living things. Okay? If I say, él es mi hermano, he is my brother. Ella es mi hermana, she is my sister. However, if I want to use el and ella for non-living things, I can do the same and it will mean it. For example, el coche es caro. The car is expensive. I can substitute it by saying el es muy caro. In the similar way, if I want to say la casa es bonita, the house is beautiful, I can substitute that by saying ella es bonita. Right? It depends on the gender and the number. El coche is masculine singular and la casa is feminine singular. Now we move on to the first person plural, that is we. When I say we, it always includes the main speaker, that is I, and someone else. It can be one single person or a group of people, but it has to include me. Alright, in Spanish you have nosotros and nosotras. Nosotros is for a group of all boys, okay, all boys, or a group of mixed genders. It does not matter who the majority is. It can be 5 girls and 1 boy, 99 girls and 1 boy. It still is a mixed group. That is when you will use nosotros. Nosotros somos amigos. We are friends. However, if it is a group that has only girls, not a single guy, that's when you will use nosotras. Nosotras somos amigas. We are friends. The same applies for the second person plural, that is y'all. When I say y'all, it means you and another person or you and another group, but excluding the main speaker, that's me. In Spanish we have vosotros and vosotras. It's the same rule as nosotros and nosotras. Vosotros means a group of boys that I'm addressing or a mixed gender group. Like I said, it does not matter if the majority is female and there's even one single male. It becomes a mixed gender group. That's when I will say vosotros. Vosotros sois amigos. You all are friends. Now, if I'm addressing a group of girls, even if it's 2 girls or an entire bunch of girls but no boys included, that's when I will say vosotras. Vosotras sois amigas. You all are friends. Now, just like how tú is used in informal settings, vosotros and vosotras are also an informal way of saying y'all. Just like in tú, we saw that is informal, and if you want to offer respect, you use usted. Similarly for vosotros and vosotras, if you want to offer respect, you will say ustedes. Ustedes. It means you all. Ustedes son inteligentes. You all are very intelligent. Again, when a verb is conjugated, it takes the third person form of the verb. However, it means the second person. Tú or ustedes as in vosotros. Now finally we have the last subject pronoun, which means they, the third person plural. In the third person plural, when you address they, in Spanish, again it is divided into gender. Alright, you have ellos and ellas. Ellos is the plural form of el, and ellas is the plural form of ella. Just like el and ella not only pertain to living things but also non-living things, the same thing applies to ellos and ellas. If I say ellos son amigos, they are friends, it means I'm referring to a group of boys or a mixed gender group. They. Alright, either all boys or girls and boys combined. If I say ellas son amigas, They are friends. I am referring to an all feminine group. For example, if I want to say las flores son bonitas, the flowers are beautiful. The flowers are not humans. I can use ellas for them as well. I can say ellas son bonitas. Now that's all for today, guys. Please keep practicing and thank you. See you in the next video.